Hello, this is Steve, Dichroic Glassman on YouTube, and now my latest channel, StainedGlassManUS on YouTube as well. What I want to show here in this video is how to twist lead so that it looks like this. I love this stuff, and a lot of other people do as well around my windows. In fact, we can show you a window here. This has been polished, it hasn't been cleaned, so forgive me. It's kind of cool because I got these little windows here, and in these windows here I have three-dimensional gold paint glass bulbs. Dichroic elements. Of course you can hardly tell because they're polished, so you can't really appreciate. What I want to really show is this twisted edge. And you put your hangers over here, which will be in another video, how to put the hangers on, where to look for the hangers. But anyway, I love these twisted edges, and so do a lot of other people. I've sold several panels. Well, what do we do to twist this lead? Well, first of all, this lead's a little corroded. Right now I'm in California, and humidity's pretty high, of course, like anywhere in the winter time. So what I'm doing here is taking a piece of steel wool, and it's easier to do it once you've got the whole strip, and just run the steel wool underneath it and then tighten it up. And that gives it otherwise this has been oxidizing. All that's going to do this. So what you want is two tools. These are called lead nippers, and I only use them for cutting lead. Otherwise I put them away. I have a special box for my lead tools. I never cut wire or anything with them. That's what happens is these jaws when you use wire, they get little divots and pits in there. So this is virgin lead nippers that only get used for lead. And then the other end, you can use a pair of pliers. I'm just using my grozers. So bear with me as I only have one camera, one hand, and I do all my videos by myself. So what you want to do with two hands, of course, is you want to pull on this. Down here at the other end, there's a lead vise. You want to pull on it tight because lead shrinks up, and you want to stretch it and get to bring out all the kinks and the wrinkles, and so this is called a lead vise. It's got little teeth underneath there. You can see them there, and you got to put the lead into the opening and then press this down. You got to kind of hammer it down because I don't have anybody to push for me. Maybe I should create a rig. Yeah, I could create a rig with a strong spring. Another video. So anyway, put the lead in there, and then that at one end is going to stay stable. If you got a friend to hold a pair of pliers at the other end, that's great. In fact, that's even better because then you don't need a vise at all. You can pull. Here's a wrinkle right here, for instance. Let's see. Got to aim this camera where I want it to be. You can see this wrinkle here. Well, there are other tools you can use to open these channels up. There's FIDs. You can run anything down that channel, but anyway, let's get to the task. What you want to do is you want to get a screw gun. I'm going to use my screw gun here. Take the bit out and open up the chuck. This is called the chuck. Down here at this end, this is the chuck. Open it up so it can accommodate the lead. So let's see if I can't get this accomplished here. I'm going to put the lead into the end, and then I'm going to, let me make sure at your end that you're seeing what I need you to see. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the, I'm going to tighten this up a little bit. Okay. We're twisting. I've got to go in and hammer it at the other end. Give me a second. Like I said, don't have anybody to help pull. Okay, so now you just twist it. Really cool to watch. It turns into a drill bit. If you're matching up a piece of previous lead, or you're happy with the results, keep a piece of it on hand. You can see there, I like the results, the consistency and the tightness. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to compare it to it. I'm telling myself, another twist. Cool. Okay, now open up the chuck and try, if you can. There you go. Pull that out. Now this end is crushed because of the chuck. So what you want to use is use your lead nippers. And you want to always have the blades towards the lead. This way, if you put it on the back side, it always cuts the lead on an angle, which is what you want. But if you want to clean up the end of this so that, you see there, nice and flat. You can see nice and flat. Forgive me, it's kind of funky. I'm looking at the screen. You can't look through the camera. You got to look through the screen. And it's always weird coordinating. Versus the end here, you can see it's kind of like on a 45-degree angle. And basically this lead started out as H. It's called H lead. And you can see that again here on the end. You see how it's an H? The letter H. It's called H lead. And this is the large. I have done it in several sizes. In fact, it's good to keep your samples around. Now this one really looks cool. Isn't that different? Now that's not H, that's U. And then you could tighten these up where you close it. It's really tight. Decorative lead. Not a lot of people are putting emphasis on lead, as you know, they're putting decorative soldering in there, calling it that. So anyway, that's how we do the lead. When you take this off on this end here at the vise, or if your friend was holding it in a pair of pliers, I can hold my end down here, and I'm going to twist this by hand just to bring some of these links up to the speed. In other words, just so that they match. You can see how far off that is. So what you can do is twist it by hand. So you want to cut out the junk part at the end, and then, or right now I'll just hold on to the end so I don't waste any more. And then when I get it to these links down here to match this, the consistency, like it is up in here, then I'm content. I'm going to cut that end off so it's nice and flush. I now have a piece of lead ready to rock and roll, as they would say, and solder to my window. Isn't that cool? And it really adds a gorgeous effect to your panels. So basically, also I want to pitch in my new website, decorativeglassman.com. Hey, if you like these videos, I'm considering selling my whole stained glass plan, or teaching somebody really one-on-one, where maybe we're going to spend a week together and really take this thing to an advanced level overnight. I don't care if you've never made a window before. With my lesson plan doing stained glass, all these things that you see, we could whip together a 30-inch by 30-inch window just for fun. Call that your student window. I've had actually students make bigger windows than that as their first project. That's because my teaching system is a little bit unique. I never had a lesson myself. Anyway, more on that later. And tune in to decorativeglassman.com. Thank you as always. Bye-bye.